Did you know that over 80% of people who use baking soda still have no idea how powerful it can be for their health? That's right. This tiny white powder, probably sitting in your fridge right now, might just be the most overlooked remedy in your home. And if you've been dealing with pain, fatigue, or just feeling off lately, this one small change could be exactly what your body's been asking for. And for older adults, what you'll discover today could make everyday life feel easier, lighter, and even more comfortable. Most people use baking soda for cooking or cleaning. But what if I told you it could also help ease arthritis, support your kidneys, freshen your breath, and improve your energy levels, all for just pennies a dose? Pushpin, this isn't theory. It's real, practical, science-backed health support, and by the end of this video, you'll have 14 simple ways to use baking soda to improve your daily life. Backhand index pointing right somewhere in this video is a tip that might change the way you take care of your body, so stay with us. Sparkles, and if you're someone who believes that small things can make a big difference, this video was made for you. Speech balloon, we made this video with love because we believe that your health deserves simple, natural solutions that actually work. If you're new here, welcome to Senior Health Tips, your friendly source for safe, natural health strategies made especially for older adults. If you find this content helpful, tap subscribe and give this video a like. It helps us reach more people who need simple, effective solutions just like this. Let's dive in. 1. Baking soda and body detox. More than skin deep, imagine your body as a beautiful, old house, sturdy, reliable, but in need of regular care. Over time, dust, buildup, and residue quietly settle in places you don't see. That's your body, always working, always filtering, but needing support now and then. Especially as we age, the detox systems, your liver, kidneys, and even your skin, benefit from gentle help. Baking soda, when used wisely, can support this natural detoxification process. Dissolved in water, it forms a mild alkaline solution that helps reduce excess acid in your system. This can be especially helpful for seniors who tend to accumulate more acid due to slower digestion, medication use, or chronic low-level inflammation. Think of this tiny white powder like a housekeeper for your internal plumbing, restoring balance, flushing irritants, and giving your detox systems a break. Externally, baking soda is just as remarkable. Soaking in a warm bath with half a cup of baking soda can soothe dry, itchy skin and calm irritation. It's like giving your skin a deep breath of fresh air. Many seniors find it brings comfort after a long day, especially during hot or humid weather. And here's something few people realize. Stress produces chemical changes in the body, including increased acidity. So when you unwind with a baking soda soak, you're not just relaxing muscles. You're helping shift your body's chemistry back toward harmony. YW checkmark why it matters. Seniors are more prone to acid buildup, inflammation, and toxin retention due to age-related metabolic slowdown. Lightbulb, try this. Add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda to a large glass of water once or twice a week. For skin, soak in a warm tub with half a cup of baking soda for 20 minutes. Pushpin coming next. That same little spoon of powder can do wonders for your mouth. Up next, you'll learn how baking soda doesn't just brighten your smile. It could even help protect your heart. The connection will surprise you. 2. Baking soda and oral health. A bright smile, a strong heart. Let's face it, aging comes with changes we don't always love. One of the sneakiest? Declining oral health. Gums recede, enamel weakens, and bacteria find more places to hide. And here's the kicker. What starts in your mouth doesn't stay in your mouth. Studies have shown a clear link between gum disease and heart problems in older adults. But there's hope, right on your kitchen shelf. Baking soda is mildly abrasive, enough to scrub away stains without damaging enamel. It's also alkaline, which means it neutralizes acid in your mouth, the same acid that fuels bacteria, bad breath, and tooth decay. By adding a pinch of baking soda to your brushing routine twice a week, you're doing more than just whitening. You're creating a hostile environment for bacteria that cause gum disease. And when your gums stay healthy, so does your heart. Take it from Janet, a 70-year-old widow who hated smiling because of yellowing teeth. She started brushing with baking soda twice a week, and not only did her smile brighten, but her dentist noticed less plaque and stronger gums. She says it made her feel confident again. White heavy check mark why it matters. Healthy gums lower your risk of stroke, memory loss, and cardiovascular disease. Light bulb, try this. Mix 1 part baking soda with 2 parts water to make a paste. Brush gently using a soft toothbrush. Pushpin coming next. You've cleaned your smile. Now let's calm the fire in your chest. Baking soda might be your safest go-to when heartburn hits. 3. Soothing heartburn. A kitchen fix for fire in the chest. You've just enjoyed a delicious meal. Maybe some spaghetti or your favorite bowl of soup. And then it happens, that creeping, burning sensation rising from your stomach to your throat. Heartburn. It's more than uncomfortable. For many seniors, it's a nightly frustration that interrupts sleep, causes coughing, and steals the joy from eating. Here's the good news. Baking soda, when used wisely, can provide fast relief. Just 1/2 teaspoon in a full glass of water can quickly neutralize excess stomach acid. Think of it like a fire blanket smothering the flame before it spreads. This trick isn't new. In fact, generations have used it. But what most people don't realize is how it can also prevent the anxiety cycle. When you're afraid to eat because of heartburn, you may skip meals. And skipping meals as a senior? That leads to weakness, malnutrition, and even depression. So yes, baking soda helps put out the fire. But it also restores peace of mind. The ability to eat comfortably again? That's priceless. Of course, baking soda isn't a daily fix. Overuse can lead to imbalance and strain your kidneys. So consider it an emergency solution, not a lifestyle. White heavy check mark why it matters. Repeated heartburn can lead to ulcers, tooth erosion, and respiratory issues if ignored. Light bulb, try this. Sip the baking soda solution slowly after meals, no more than a few times a week. And always check with your doctor if symptoms persist. Pushpin coming next. From the burning inside to the itching outside, we're about to uncover how baking soda fights fungal infections that thrive in silence. 4. Fungal infections. Fighting the itch. One soak at a time, let's talk about something no one likes to admit. Itchy, uncomfortable fungal infections. Maybe it's between your toes, under a fold of skin, or along your waistline. If you've ever dealt with athlete's foot, jock itch, or ringworm, you know how stubborn and embarrassing these conditions can be. As we get older, our skin becomes thinner, drier, and more prone to damage. Combine that with less mobility, and we often sweat more in hard-to-reach areas. Moist, warm environments? That's where fungus loves to grow. Here's where baking soda steps in. When applied to the skin, baking soda helps absorb moisture and create an alkaline environment, one that fungus doesn't enjoy. It's like removing the welcome mat for those nasty microbes. You can make a paste using baking soda and a little water. Apply it directly to the itchy area and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before rinsing. For widespread issues like athlete's foot, a simple foot soak with warm water and 2 tablespoons of baking soda can bring immense relief. Many seniors who've struggled for years with recurring infections report noticeable improvement after just a few treatments. It's gentle, effective, and most importantly, it doesn't rely on harsh chemicals that can irritate sensitive skin. White heavy check mark why it matters. Left untreated, fungal infections can spread, crack the skin, and even lead to bacterial complications. Light bulb, try this. For daily prevention, dust a small amount of baking soda into shoes and slippers. You can also mix it with cornstarch for a gentle antifungal powder. Pushpin coming next. Get ready for a surprising use of baking soda that may bring gentle relief to one of the most common complaints among older adults, urinary tract discomfort. Trust us, you won't want to miss how simple it can be. Sparkles, if you've ever battled itchy skin, drop a comment below. Someone else might benefit from your story and your solution. 5. Urinary tract discomfort. A gentle ally in a glass of water for older adults, Urinary tract infections, UTIs, are unfortunately common. They sneak up with urgency, burning, and discomfort that disrupt your whole day or your whole week. While baking soda isn't a cure for infections, it may offer a bit of support. When consumed properly, it slightly alkalizes the urine. This change in pH can make the environment less friendly for bacteria that love acidity. Imagine this. Your bladder is like a tiny garden. When it becomes too acidic, weeds take over. A bit of baking soda in water helps restore a calmer environment, making it harder for those weeds or bacteria to thrive. Of course, we always recommend seeing your doctor for UTIs. But for mild symptoms or as a supportive measure, try this remedy. Mix 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into a full glass of water. Drink slowly, once a day for up to 3 days. Never use this as a substitute for antibiotics, but it may help ease the sting while you wait for them to kick in. Many seniors also find that drinking more water, at least 6 to 8 cups per day, paired with this mild remedy helps them flush out bacteria more effectively. White heavy checkmark why it matters. Infections in seniors can escalate fast. Gentle early support can ease symptoms and aid recovery. Light bulb, try this. Pair your baking soda drink with cranberry extract or probiotics, but always run it by your doctor first. Pushpin coming next. Mouth ulcers might seem like a small problem, but they can cause major pain. Up next, we'll show you how baking soda can calm these pesky sores, fast, safe, and straight from your kitchen. Sparkles if this part hit close to home. We'd love to hear from you. Your feedback helps shape the videos we make next. 6. Canker sores, small sores, big relief. Ever get one of those tiny white ulcers inside your mouth that feels like a volcano every time you eat or talk? Those are canker sores, small in size, huge in annoyance. And for older adults, they often come with dry mouths, denture irritation, or vitamin deficiencies. The next time one sneaks up on you, try reaching for baking soda. Its ability to neutralize acidity and reduce irritation makes it a gentle but powerful remedy. Rinsing your mouth with a solution of warm water and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda helps clean the sore, balance your mouth's pH, and soothe the pain. Think of it as nature's own salt and soda rinse, minus the sting. Just swish for 30 seconds, 2 to 3 times a day. Some seniors also apply a thick paste, baking soda plus a few drops of water, directly to the sore for targeted relief. It doesn't taste great, but many say the relief is worth it. White heavy checkmark why it matters. Canker sores can interfere with eating, speaking, and maintaining proper nutrition in older adults. Light bulb, try this. Avoid spicy or acidic foods while healing. Keep lips hydrated and consider vitamin B12 supplements. Pushpin coming next. Believe it or not, baking soda could help you move better. Let's talk about how it supports your stamina and muscles, especially during activity. Sparkles, if you've tried this remedy before, let others know in the comments. Your tip could bring someone relief tonight. 7. Exercise and endurance. Support your muscles naturally. Exercise looks different as we get older. It's less about performance and more about independence. Whether it's walking your dog, gardening, or dancing at a grandchild's wedding, energy matters. One surprising fact, baking soda may help reduce muscle fatigue during physical activity. It acts as a buffer, neutralizing lactic acid that builds up in the muscles and causes that familiar soreness and burn. Some athletes drink a small amount, typically 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda mixed in water, about an hour before intense activity. Seniors can adapt this carefully under medical guidance to help maintain energy for longer walks or gentle workouts. But let's not forget, muscles also need recovery. A warm bath with baking soda after activity can soothe joints, relax muscles, and help you sleep better. White heavy checkmark why it matters. Preserving strength is key to independence, balance, and preventing falls in older adults. Light bulb, try this. Consult your doctor before ingesting baking soda pre-exercise. For baths, add 1/3 cup to warm water and soak for 20 minutes. Pushpin coming next. Want to protect your kidneys from age-related decline? What you learn next may surprise you. Sparkles staying active? Tell us how you move and what keeps you going. Let's inspire each other. 8. Kidney function. Giving your filters a helping hand. Your kidneys are your body's natural filters, working day and night to clean your blood, balance fluids, and regulate minerals. But as we age, these powerful organs can get overworked, especially with certain medications or chronic conditions like high blood pressure. Here's where baking soda comes in. When your body becomes too acidic, your kidneys must work harder to keep the blood's pH in check. Baking soda, with its alkalizing effect, can help reduce this burden. Some research suggests that low-dose baking soda may help slow down the decline of kidney function in people with mild chronic kidney disease. It's not a miracle cure, but it may act as a small shield, protecting your filters from unnecessary stress. Of course, this is something to discuss with your doctor. Taking too much baking soda without guidance could cause more harm than good. But when used under supervision, it could be one of the simplest ways to support your kidneys. Why checkmark why it matters. Healthy kidneys are crucial for filtering toxins, balancing blood pressure, and avoiding fatigue. Light bulb, try this. Ask your doctor about checking your kidney function regularly and whether small amounts of baking soda might help you. Pushpin coming next. Those stiff joints and swollen knuckles? The next section explores baking soda's hidden anti-inflammatory potential. Sparkles, if you've ever dealt with kidney issues or are curious about protecting them, let us know in the comments. You're not alone. 9. Joint health. Easing inflammation. The simple way inflammation is the root of so many aches and pains, especially for seniors dealing with arthritis or stiff joints. It can feel like your body is arguing with itself, day after day. But what if a little kitchen staple could help calm the fire inside? Studies suggest that baking soda may influence the immune system in a way that reduces chronic inflammation. Drinking a small amount of baking soda in water, about 1/4 teaspoon in a glass, may signal the body to reduce its inflammatory response. Some researchers believe this effect could benefit people with autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Even more encouraging? Many seniors report that combining this with a warm baking soda bath brings double relief inside and out. Why checkmark why it matters. Inflammation steals mobility, energy, and quality of life. Every little tool helps in calming it down. Light bulb, try this. Pair baking soda with anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, turmeric, and berries. Pushpin coming next. Ever experienced the sharp, stabbing pain of gout? The next tip could help melt it away. Sparkles, arthritis warriors, drop your best tips in the comments. Let's learn from each other. 10. Gout attacks. Calming the crystals. That sudden, excruciating pain in your toe or ankle isn't random. It could be gout, a type of arthritis caused by uric acid crystals forming in your joints. And if you've ever had it, you know the agony it brings. Here's how baking soda may help. It can increase the alkalinity of your body, which may reduce uric acid buildup and help dissolve those painful crystals. Some seniors use baking soda as a short-term solution during flare-ups. 1/4 teaspoon in a glass of water, up to twice a day, for a few days. Again, only under guidance. Many also find relief with foot soaks, just a tablespoon of baking soda in warm water. It's like taking the edge off a blade before it cuts too deep. Why checkmark why it matters. Gout doesn't just hurt, it can damage joints permanently if ignored. Light bulb, try this. Avoid high-purine foods like red meat and shellfish. Stay hydrated and talk to your doctor about using baking soda safely. Pushpin coming next. A sore throat, a stuffy nose, a full body ache. Cold and flu season is coming. Let's prepare with one surprising ally. Sparkles, if gout has hit your life hard, share how you've managed it. Someone might need to hear your story. 11. Cold and flu support. Breathe easier, feel better. Colds and flus can knock you off your feet, especially as we age. A stuffy nose, sore throat, and general fatigue can feel 10 times worse when your body's defenses are already slower. Here's where baking soda lends a hand. A gargle made with warm water and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, can help soothe a scratchy throat and clear out bacteria. It's like a gentle rinse for your immune system. For nasal congestion, baking soda can also be added to a saline rinse. This helps break up mucus and restore easier breathing. And don't forget the mental comfort. Sometimes, just doing something proactive helps you feel more in control when your body is under siege. White heavy check mark, why it matters. Seniors are more vulnerable to respiratory infections. Relief isn't just about comfort, it's about recovery. Light bulb, try this. Use the gargle 3 times a day, especially when symptoms first appear. Pushpin coming next. This next one's a shocker. What does baking soda have to do with cancer treatment? Stay with us to find out. Sparkles, stay healthy out there. And let us know your favorite home remedies for cold and flu. 12. Cancer treatment support. A field of research. This might sound far-fetched, but baking soda is being studied for its effects on cancer cells. The idea? Cancer cells love an acidic environment, and baking soda may help neutralize that. Some researchers believe that by increasing the pH around tumors, baking soda could make cancer cells more vulnerable to treatment. It's not a cure, and it's definitely not something to try on your own, but it opens up fascinating possibilities for the future. This topic is still new, and more human studies are needed. But it's another reminder that something so small, so simple, might one day play a bigger role in health than we ever imagined. White heavy check mark, why it matters. Understanding how pH affects disease may unlock new therapies. Light bulb, try this. Always consult your oncologist. Never self-prescribe baking soda during cancer treatment. Pushpin coming next. Want to ditch chemical deodorants? Baking soda is about to surprise you again. Sparkles, curious about this topic? Let us know. Should we dive deeper in another video? 13. Natural deodorant. Fresh without the chemicals. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and what you put on it matters. Most commercial deodorants contain aluminum, parabens, and artificial fragrances that can irritate sensitive skin, especially in older adults. Baking soda? It absorbs moisture, neutralizes odors, and keeps you feeling fresh. A simple dusting under the arms or on the soles of your feet can keep odor at bay all day. Some people mix it with coconut oil and a few drops of essential oil for a DIY cream. It's natural, customizable, and budget-friendly. White heavy check mark, why it matters. Reducing chemical exposure supports long-term skin and hormonal health. Light bulb, try this. Start with a small patch test. Some people with sensitive skin may need to mix baking soda with cornstarch to reduce irritation. Pushpin coming next. Before you reach for that next dose, let's talk safety. Who should use baking soda carefully or avoid it completely? Sparkles, if you've made your own natural deodorant, share your recipe. It might inspire others to switch. 14. Who should be careful? A word of caution: as powerful as baking soda can be, it's not for everyone. Seniors with kidney disease, high blood pressure, or heart issues should use it cautiously. Baking soda contains sodium, which can strain these conditions. If you're on a low-sodium diet or take medications that affect electrolyte balance, adding baking soda may not be safe. Also, people with acid reflux, ulcers, or digestive disorders should avoid overusing baking soda, as it can disrupt stomach acid levels over time. And one more thing. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, always talk to your doctor first. White heavy check mark, why it matters. Even natural remedies have limits. Personalization is key. Light bulb, try this. Keep track of how your body responds. Start small, go slow, and always ask your healthcare provider. Sparkles, if you've reached this point, thank you for watching. Now you know the true power and responsibility of using baking soda wisely. Party popper, final thought. Baking soda isn't magic, but it's close. This humble powder, sitting in your kitchen, has the potential to ease pain, clean gently, support your organs, and restore comfort, all without costing much. Use it with care, curiosity, and always with a wise heart. Brain lessons learned. What we've seen throughout this video is that baking soda, while simple, can become an incredibly supportive tool when used the right way. Whether it's for easing pain, balancing pH, or bringing comfort to everyday discomforts. Its strength lies in how gently it supports your body's natural wisdom. Light bulb helpful reminders. Always start with small doses and observe your body's response. Never use baking soda as a replacement for prescribed medication. If you have kidney, heart, or digestive conditions, check with your doctor before use. Pair baking soda with a healthy lifestyle, hydration, whole foods, and movement. Remember, it's not about quick fixes, it's about empowering yourself with small tools that make a big difference over time. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to help other seniors unlock the natural tools already within reach to our channel, Senior Health Tips, for more gentle, science-backed wellness tips for older adults. And if you've discovered your own baking soda secret, tell us below. We're all learning together. Green circle, check out the next video on natural remedies every senior should know. And if this video helped you or someone you love, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your community. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content that truly matters. You won't want to miss what we reveal there.